Hey, it's Kiki again. This week I'm going to be doing a monster match, partly because I want to, and also partly because Katelyn McCaigue is doing a little contesty thing for her Kickstarter. The video is going to come out quite a bit after the contest is over, but hey, anyway, her Kickstarter, which again will be over by the time this comes out, was for her Creature Compendium, which is a bunch of her monster mashes put into a book to be used for like D&D and stuff, which is awesome. So instead of using a random generator, I asked my mom to send me pictures of animals to mash together, and as my mom normally does, she came through. So the first one she sent me was this cute little thing. It's a long-eared Jerboa. It's a little desert mouse, I think? No, it's from China. Sorry, I'm reading the little thing she sent me. But they're little jumping mice, and they're adorable. I mean, just look at that face. And then there's the next one she sent me, which is this little guy. And he is the Armadillo Girdled Lizard. And he looks like a little dragon, and he's adorable. I did find another picture of one of these where he's laid out a little bit better so I can see more of how his body lays. So I'm going to be taking these, where'd they go? These two, and attempting to stick them together. I'm going to be starting with pencil sketch, and then I'll go into the computer and finish it up digitally. Let's get going. So these first sketches were me just getting ideas down on paper of how I could stick the body together and just try to solidify an idea.
Alright, so I did a few little sketches. This one was I took the mouse body and I stuck the lizard legs on it and gave him a few scales. I tried to give him more of the lizard nose. Alright. This one kind of ended up reminding me of Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, and I really, really like it, and I might use this one. But it's meant to be more of the longer lizard body with the mouse's legs. And these are like little lizard arms, but they're smaller like the mouse arms. And then his spiky tail, and it had the scales come up on the ears. This one was supposed to be, I don't even know, it was supposed to go more off the mouse body, I guess, but it ended up looking a lot like this one, so I just kind of stopped. This one was, I was trying to make the ears, the long ears from the mouse, look like they were like spiky scales instead of ears, and it kind of just looked like a hedgehog, and it was like Mouse Rex, his little arms, and so I'm probably going to be using this one as my base, and I'll fix it up and refine it and maybe put a little bit more scales for the ears, give it more like a hard shell ear rather than just having the base have the scales, and add more of the detail and go from there.
So I started off sketching out the pose. I wanted to do something a little bit more interesting than this hunched over little sort of toothless looking thing. So I made it kind of turning around and looking up at whatever may be coming. And I just kind of fixed it up and added little things as I went. One of the ideas I had was to mix the fur and the scales together. Initially I was just going to have him like have a soft fuzzy belly. I was like, well, that doesn't really make too much sense because the belly is already normally softer than everything else. So I kind of made it that there's a layer of scales, then a layer of fur, a layer of scales, layer of fur, layer of scales, layer of fur. And the idea was the fur helps keep it warm since it's more cold-blooded. I don't know, maybe it's mammal, I don't know yet, it's probably reptile. But the fur will help keep it warm, but also silent the scales. It'll keep them from clinking against each other. Help it be more stealthy and be able to get away. I had a little bit of trouble with the feet. I was initially going to make them more like the mouse feet, but it looked weird, so I tried to kind of do like a mix of the mouse foot and the lizard foot. It looks interesting, so I kept it. Instead of doing the full hard shell ear, I just did a few of the scales up it, and then just stopped and left the rest of it just the ear. Because trying to do the full shell looked clunky with how big the ear was. If they were smaller ears, then it probably would have worked, but with how big the ears are, it looked weird. But I really like the pose I managed to get and the design it came out with. I went back and forth with putting scales on the exposed skin and over the entire face, and I eventually just ditched the idea and just did fur partially on the face along with the scales. The thing that initially made me ditch the scale idea was when I was doing the legs, it looked like a chicken leg, and I'm like, I'm not doing a chicken. Yeah, and then I went into the coloring, and the nice thing about the two pictures I have is the colorings are fairly similar, so it didn't clash, they went really well together. And it didn't take me long at all to get it to all come together, and yeah, I just did a little simple background and had lots of fun with this. Alright, so after roughly 4.5 hours, I have a finished little adorable, fluffy, scaly, kind of dragonish looking adorable thing. But I was kind of worried about, after my initial sketch I had said that he did remind me of Toothless, and I was worried about him coming out too toothless. But he didn't, which I'm really happy about. He is his own creature. Like I did with the sketch, I did the mouse ears. I didn't bring the scales up like I said I was going to. I tried. It looked weird. I liked the coloring on the face of this picture of the lizard I had, so I kind of worked that in and then gave him darker scales on his belly and his tail. But yeah, I'm really happy with how he came out, and I hope Katelyn likes him. He's my little dragon mouse. He's so cute. But yeah, I just did something real simple for the background with little bush things and rocks. I can't decide on how big he is, because it'd be adorable if he was only like this big. But also it'd be kind of cool if he was a little bigger. I'm gonna say he's like this big, and you keep him on like your shoulder, and he'd be adorable. But yeah, so that's this, and I'm happy with it, and it turned out really good. And I like my little simple background. My rocks could probably be better, but they're not the focus of the picture. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, come back and watch me next Sunday. I post every Sunday. And drop me a like on this video, and maybe go check out some of the other ones. And I'll see you next week. Bye!